Alright guys, so I'm going to tell you about the 533 mono. This is my first time purchasing a astronomy camera, let alone a monochrome camera. I've got quite a lot of experience in astrophotography. I'm going to take you on a little journey of me using this camera and seeing what results I can get, comparing them to my old DSLR. So this camera I bought with a filter wheel. That's a monochrome camera, so it needs a filter wheel. So I've got the LRGB filters, but also the so hydrogen alpha, oxygen and sulfur filters, which is the famous Hubble palette. So we'll be able to do some narrow band imaging, which is what that's called. So if you're not familiar with narrow band imaging, what it is you're isolating very specific frequencies that are emitted from mostly nebulae, which we call emission nebulae, and that's to do with their composition. So there's a lot of hydrogen, for example, in emission nebulae, and when hydrogen gets hot, it emits very specific frequencies, and we're going to isolate those frequencies, which will give us much more contrast and much more detail, hopefully. So really excited to use this.
A few days later.
Lambda Centauri Nebula, an emission nebula in the constellation Centaurus, 6,500 light years away. This is just about 5 hours of exposure, and I'm really happy with the detail. For 5 hours, it's pulled out incredible amounts of detail. We can see a lot of structure in the gas and the dust. The blue colors is oxygen, and the orange and brown colors are hydrogen and sulfur. And just remember, every star is another sun coming into being, a new solar system. Imagine the scale of these nebulae when we compare them to the stars, which are like our sun. The blue oxygen that we see it looks wind-swept, sculpted. This is caused by stellar winds. So this nebula is a star formation region, and lots of hot new stars are forming, and their energy, their stellar winds, particles being thrown off of the stars, are sculpting this nebula and sweeping out the gases, and we can see this all in the bluey white colors. Here we can see Bok globules, so these dark patches that we can see here, this is where gas and dust are condensing together under gravity and producing stars. So we're seeing the first stages here of star formation. You can also see other stars that are formed around these Bok globules. This is so the Bok globules are the leftover material which is still forming into stars, and the surrounding stars which are part of an open star cluster, are the stars that formed earlier, but all part of the same area. Incredible. Okay guys, so yeah, that was my first attempt with the new camera, and I'm really happy with how it's come out. I think with that Nebula, I wouldn't have even been able to reach it with my old DSLR. It would have been too faint. Narrowband imaging with a monochrome is, you know, much more sensitive, and yeah, so really opens up a whole other level of astronomy, astrophotography for me, and opens up a lot more targets, so much more in the sky to play with. Narrowband, especially with a monochrome, just really changes the game, and opens up these nebulae in a way that I've never been able to photograph them before. So really amazing camera, really recommend it. It's the next step up from a DSLR, and you know, with monochrome cameras it can be a bit intimidating, lots to learn, but if you get an auto filter wheel, an autofocuser, an ASIAIR or something similar, actually once you get used to it, it's not only simple but easier in a way, because everything's automated, and the feeling of automation as well, it just takes you to the next level. You know, automatic filter changes, automatic focus is just cool. So I would recommend, if you're getting monochrome in particular, to also get a filter wheel and autofocuser. It is expensive, but it's an investment, so definitely worth it if you're into astrophotography and you already know that. So yeah, please follow me, and I will keep on posting. And yeah, my background is astronomy. I studied astronomy, and it's something I love to do, and so I would love to build a channel and keep going with astrophotography. But yeah, for now, cheers. Keep looking up.